Yes, the original is back. He's on his bike and there's a good chance you already own him. Hello everyone, my name's James and this is Joe Danger. Yep, that game that came out 8 years ago on iOS and was brilliant and was followed by a sequel called Joe Danger Infinity, which was also brilliant. And then iOS changed and they did all the old, 32 to 64 bit and it stopped working like so many good iOS and Android games did. But it's back because Hello Games, the ones who did that No Man's Sky game, this is the game they did before that. And they, during the past however many years, have been working on bringing these back to app stores. So this is a remastered version of those games. It's all been slightly HDified, prettied up, put into a different aspect ratio, and most importantly, able to work on the modern version of iOS. And if you bought it all those years ago, just go into the App Store, go and find it. You can download it again and it now works. You don't have to buy it again, it's yours, you've got it. This is incredibly good news because these games were fantastic. Obviously, everyone remembers the likes of Trials, and that was a very, famous version of the, hey, get on a bike and jump around and do all that business. And it was great and it was hard. Hello Games did something slightly different with this, where it's kind of an auto-runner style game where Joe is always traveling from left to right, and what you have to do is manage how he travels. So, for example, I can tap on the screen here to hold down and change where I'm placed on these fans, so I can go down by holding down or release to go back up again. There we go. I've also got the ability to hold down, and when I release, usually when I'm not on these fans, I jump, so I hop into the air. I can also tap on obstacles, like that star you see there. I can tap on the star to collect it. I can also tap on obstacles in order to make them go down, like those barriers that pop up. See this bubble? I'm tapping on it to pop. There's a lot of stuff that you have to do besides just managing Joe and his jumps as he goes through the levels. Really, really good. These games are always fantastic, and we're often talking on this channel about how certain games have been lost to the annals of time, how it's very difficult to get, for example, digital, I'm thinking of, not conservatorship, I'm thinking, because that's a Britney Spears thing, digital, historical, maintenance, whatever. That thing where games don't vanish. We don't want games to vanish into the past. I need to be Chicken Joe. I have bought Chicken Joe. Let's go get him. Hey. And we don't want these things to be lost to the annals of time. We want to still be able to play them, but that does require a lot of work on behalf of the developers as the environment keeps changing in games, and as, engines differ and app stores change their operating systems and all of that stuff. It takes time and they have to rebuild their game again from scratch, and often it's just not possible to bring it back. So having a developer just kind of casually go, oh hey, by the way, we were secretly updating this in the background, lol, here you go, and if you've already bought the game you can play it again. That's really nice. It's a proper little gift, and it doesn't happen enough. I'd love to see more of this take place, but again, we have to understand the reasons why it's not happening. It's not something where people just go, oh, why don't you just update it for the new system, it's easy. Like, no, the developer's probably 3 games down the line, the team is different, they've got the resources committed to something else, and because the environment keeps changing around them, the goalposts keep shifting, it's not really fair to expect them to drop everything and then suddenly update stuff. And, especially with something like Apple, they don't give you a lot of notice. They don't really tell anybody what they're doing. They just change everything. The developers go, oh, I've got to remake an entire game again now. Great. Fantastic. Cheers, Apple. So you've got to kind of factor that stuff in and you try not to blame the devs too much. So something like this is just a real treat, basically. This also works for Joe Danger Infinity, which is the sequel that came out, which was also really good. Had a couple of new features, like the ability to do some endless runner style levels where I think he just ran and ran and ran for ages. But for me, this was always the big winner. It was such a beautifully designed, compact little game. It did everything for touchscreen perfectly, and we're talking the early days of touchscreen. We're talking 2013, 2014 maybe. It was available on consoles and everything as well, but it just wound up working perfectly on your mobiles. Let's change to Elvis, and I think we're going to do a little race against Elvis to complete this final stage. Everything feels beautifully crafted. Sap! Let's do wheelies. Oh, duck. Wheelies make you go a little bit faster. I jumped too early. Wheelie, jump! Perfect. Wheelie. Very nice. Wheelies are by swiping back, by the way. FYI. Wheelie! Because that mud stuff slows you down if you're not wheeling. Whew. Ooh, tap on the UFO. You've got to kind of constantly keep your eyes on the foreground and the background. By the way, if you haven't already bought this game, and you're not picking it up as part of the remastered update download thing, then you can, of course, buy it. It is available now. I think it's just $1.99 or something like that. Totally worth it. Genuinely brilliant, and a game that hasn't been surpassed since. So, Joe Danger and Joe Danger Infinity, if you've already bought them, check your updates. You can play them again, and if you haven't, I'd seriously suggest go and have a look on the App Store. They're crackers. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.